Hello everyone, welcome back to the last part 5 of BBS second year National Income Accounting. In this video, we will be talking about the difficulties encountered by national income while measuring the national income. Obviously, in exam it would be asked as the explain the difficulties encountered in measuring of national income, or what are the difficulties in measurement of national income with example. And as you know that in our last part video part 4 we had discussed about the national income difficulties in measuring in context of Nepal, like developing country like Nepal. So in there we had 5 points, but in this video, in this we have 10 points in total. And so we will be discussing. So first of all, let me tell you the points are uh, double counting, change in depreciation, change in price table, choice of method, non-market availability, non-reliable data, illegal income, unreported income, inclusion of services, intermediate goods. So these are the 10 points which we'll be discussing. And number one is double counting, and it is one of the major problem faced by the national income while measuring or calculating the national income, because double counting is a thing which we could not draw the line between the intermediate goods and the final goods here in this section. So double counting means the counting the same product more than once. That is called the double counting. Double counting usually happens when intermediate goods like wheat, which is a raw material, it's added in a final good like bread. So this is when the double counting happens, and it happens rarely. So it makes hard for the national income to measure the national income. Example: wheat is a raw material, and wheat is a raw material used to produce bread, right? So counting both bread and the wheat, you know it makes double counting. So this usually happens. So this makes national income difficult. So it is one of the difficulties encountered, okay, while measuring the national income. And the number 2 point is change in depreciation. Like change in depreciation, it means it is change in depreciation is deducted from GNP to calculate net national product and national income. In the formula wise, I'm just saying, if you want to write on exam, yeah, you can write, it will be more perfect. So examiner will like, okay, so this guy understand this and he has written this, so you will have his back thoughts. And you could explain the main topic by saying, but it is really difficult to estimate the actual depreciation, because the actual loss in the value of assets cannot be measured precisely. Actual loss in the value of assets cannot be measured precisely. So that's why it is one of the difficulties while measuring the national income. For an example, we could take as suppose I bought the machineries of rupees 1 lakh, and I said the life of that machinery for 10 years. So I suppose, okay, this machine will work for 10 years and the depreciation for that machinery is 10,000 per year. But in reality, suppose the first year depreciation might be 5,000, the secondary depreciation might be 15,000. So yeah, that is what I want to say. The this assets value, it cannot be measured precisely, accurately. Suppose that and why I said that 5,000 and 15,000 in the first year and the second year. Suppose in the first year it took me less maintenance costs, because it was a new machine and it didn't broke down, it worked really well. So I had just adjusted 5,000 rupees in total. But in the second year, suppose it is doomed, it is not working efficiently as the first year, so I have to pay a lot of money, which is 15,000. So yeah, it is depreciation automatically increases, and it is not precisely, but according to what I had depreciated, it is okay, I will take care of it, and each year I will depreciate 10,000, but it is not possible due to all these circumstances. So it is also one of the major difficulties faced while calculating the national income. And the number three is change in method. Here we have three methods to calculate income, expenditure, and the product method. Now it's a very difficult choice according to what you want to calculate. So it is also one of the difficulties of calculating national income. And number 4 point will be illegal income. Illegal income is the income earned by or earned through the illegal activities like bet, gambling, smuggling, and bribery, etc. So these are the things which are not included in national income. Even if it is included, it affects the national income. But people who had earned money through these sources, if police didn't find out, okay, if they are hidden money, so we will not know that. So even we catch, so it would affect the national income. And number five is change in the value of money, or we can just say as a price level. So here, like, we are not well aware of the how money, how income is increases of this individual, of all this person, because it could increase from you know the more production, from more job opportunities, more people will be employed, and from there they will get their income, their salary. So from there the real growth, economic growth is shown. Okay, this is one point. Okay, and the next point will be income on from the inflation. If the inflation rate is higher, obviously what will the central bank will do? The central bank will increase the interest rate. If the interest rate is increases, then obviously less loan means cheap, expensive loans means less loan, less loan means less investment, less investment means less inflation falls, and when inflation falls, money gets higher, the money purchasing power gets more. So yeah, that's why it's also one of the difficulties in measuring the national income. And there is non-availability of reliable data. Non-availability of reliable data means not reliable data. It means not correct data, false information. And this issue is not only faced by the developing country like Nepal. It is also faced by developed country like Australia, USA, Canada, Singapore, all this country. And another point is non-market activities. Non-market activities is genuinely means the activities for which money is not paid. Suppose that as a housewife, like suppose that taking care of children, making food, and drying clothes, washing clothes, all these are job. For all these jobs in foreign countries, in everywhere, it is paid. For that person who do this, for them they get paid. But for housewife or wife who do this at home, for that they do not get paid. Why they do not get paid? Because they are taking care of themselves. And it is activity where no money is paid, like cooking at home or cleaning or taking care of children. For this, no money is paid. Like, these are the useful work, but not sold in the market, and it is not possible to sell in the market. Like, if you are drying your own or washing your own clothes, for that you will pay to yourself. No, you will not pay to yourself, so it's not possible to calculate that. And national income counts only paid work, like market activities. In market, if maid is being paid, then obviously that will count in the national income. If the housewife is not being paid, then why would that we count in the national income? And this housewife and the maid, they do the same work, so usually to calculate the national income, it is very difficult. And another point is unreported income, the income which is not reported by the citizen or the resident of the country. Due to that, the counting of the national income, it gets really difficult. And our last point will be intermediate goods. The basic concept of the national income is to calculate the intermediate goods, like so like the basic concept of the national income is to measure the final goods, which is bread in suppose. But intermediate goods like wheat, is also included in the final goods. And when we try to cut the clear cut between all these two groups, it's very difficult, to cut the clear line between these two goods, because genuinely this wheat is included in the bread, and natural income means that they try to calculate the final goods, but all of the sudden, to across all of the country, if everyone everybody produce these goods, obviously to feed the people, to earn money, to have more production, to to enhance the economic growth. So for that, it will be more difficult to calculate. All right, guys. So at last, I have got a certain format to understand, to memorize these points, because it will get a lot harder for me to understand, like for to I understand this, but for to memorize these things, memorize this point. So I have got a few full form, like for DCC, INC, and annual and null. DCC, INC, and annual. D means double counting, C means change in price level or price level, and NSC means change in depreciation, and I means illegal income, N means non-reliable data, C means choice of method, N means non-market activities, U means unreported income, I means inclusion of services, and last I means intermediate goods. So these are the in total 10 points of difficulty of measuring the national income, not in context of Nepal, in context of overall. So but some of the points through here, it is also the point which we can use in the developing country like Nepal in that question if it's asked in the exam. So okay guys, so this is the last point, the theoretical question of chapter 2 BBS second year of national income accounting is done. So I think in next video we'll be talking about the classical theory of employment, unemployment, its types, JVC law, and classical theory of employment. And from the chapter 4 it will be Keynesian theory. After I'm done with this, I'm gonna come back with the account and the finance chapter 1. Then afterwards, finally I'll be taking care of the my English portion and my OBHR, organization behavior and human resource management portion. And I'm pretty good at those two subjects, so I am not taking really care of those subjects even though I'm not focusing at all. Alright guys, so this is it for the video. Till then, take care, bye bye.